This has nothing to do with anything, but I want to point it out just because I can. The Nicki Minaj Anaconda video. Like, damn. 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 Hello everybody, hope you're having a spectacularly fine day. I am John Maffio. Welcome to Movie Hoppers. Before I move on, I want to explain what Movie Hoppers is. It's an idea a friend and I conceived a few years ago, but I'm bringing it to this channel to bring it back from the dead. And it's essentially what the name of my podcast will be called. Sneak peek. Yeah, it'll be called Movie Hoppers. But since I don't have a podcast right now, this is the best I could do. So when I'm not doing movie reviews, you'll have Movie Hopper discussion videos. And today, I want to talk about something that's been irking me for a little while now. And I want to talk about it because I fell victim to it years ago. And it concerns spoilers. Setting some groundwork before I get into what I really want to talk about. Cabin in the Woods came out a couple years ago, but years before that it was filmed in 2009. A year after, I found the script out on the internet and I read the entire movie. I read the entire screenplay. Now, on one hand, I enjoyed reading it because I was so excited to see it on the big screen, but on the other hand, I knew everything about the movie going into it. So when I finally saw it, when it finally came out a couple years later, I was able to, remember half the dialogue that I read, and I also remember the entire movie from beginning to end. And in a way, it ruined the experience because the ending of Cabin in the Woods, to not talk about it, is batshit crazy. It opened me up. It opened my eyes up to what it does. It was cool to see how a screenplay translates to film, but I never want to do that ever again. Spoilers are the worst. They suck. They are the worst. At this point in my life, I don't understand why anybody would want to find out anything about a movie before they see it. But on the other hand, I do see why they would. I want to talk about my side of the argument, why it should not be a thing. Why people should not go out of their way to spoil movies. It doesn't even have to be movies. It could be anything for themselves. The whole reason why I'm even talking about this now, and why I got the spark to discuss it, was because recently, in the last few weeks, or even months I would say, there have been news articles posted online about Star Wars Episode 7. Now, Star Wars Episode 7 is a really, really monumental film. It's coming out Christmas 2015, and it's a big movie. But there are people posting articles on the internet. They're mostly rumors, but we don't know how concrete they are. We don't know how solidified they are with evidence. But rumors about villains, characters returning from the old trilogy, plot points of the movie. What pisses me off is why these are things. Why are these articles existing? Well, I know why. Because of hits. And because people are enticed by the idea of finding out things before the actual product comes out. But, you know, having fell victim to it before, not for a big movie, but the fact that people want to go out of the way to find out about these things annoys me. In this day and age, there have been many successful adaptations for movies from comics and novels. And that's not people's fault, because if you read these books and you read these comics, then you have an idea of what the movie will be. And that's not your fault. If you read the book, it's because you were intrigued by the book, and it just so happens that this book or comic is becoming a movie now. Okay, no big deal. I haven't read any of the novels that are based on Star Wars that came out years ago, but basically all that isn't canon anymore. They're fictionalized novels that fantasize in the world of Star Wars, but they're not canon. Canon meaning, you know, relating to the actual story. It's not part of the story of Star Wars anymore. It's just fun stuff. Anything that comes out now will be canon to the new movies. But anyway, Star Wars 7 is going to be a whole new movie with mostly, well not mostly, but a lot of new characters, a whole new story with familiar characters within it, and we don't know anything. We do not know shit about Star Wars Episode 7. So, why go out of the way to ruin the movie for yourself when you're going to go into the movie next year in the theater not knowing almost anything except for what you've seen in the trailers and have some fucking fun? Now, on the flip side, I do know that there are many people who read spoilers and then, in turn, actually enjoyed the movie more for knowing what the movie's going to be like, what's going to be in it, characters, so on and so forth. And to you, I respect that, I understand. If that's your cup of tea, then fine. I just don't get why you would want to find out most of the details of the movie before seeing the actual movie. Like, for example, Boba Fett. In Return of the Jedi, he fell into the Sarlacc pit. For years, I've thought that he was dead. And I still think he's dead. I thought he got digested in there for thousands of years. But what if in episode 7 he returns and we find out that he got out of the Sarlacc pit somehow, which I would not know how that would be possible, but what if he did? That would be crazy, right? If you found out in the theaters for the first time? But what if you read the article based on rumors of that happening months before, years before? When you see the movie then, you're desensitized. You already know. So when it happens, you're like, oh, having your mind clouded in mystery when it comes to movies is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing to walk into a movie not knowing anything. These days, with the internet, it's almost hard to not know anything. You know something these days, unless you do not go on the internet, which means you are not a person because you need the internet to exist in life. You cannot live without it. I have my phone next to me. My phone is my 207th bone in my body. Us humans need to learn how to have self-control. How to control our bodies, how to control our minds, to restrain ourselves from things. Now again, on the flip side, if you do these things, if you do commit these acts, and then you see the movie, or you listen to the music, or you read a comic, and then you go as a result, okay, I understand why I'm disappointed with this thing, then you're okay. But if you do these things, if you do commit these acts, if you do go out of your way to find out these things, and you see the movie, or you read the comic, or you listen to music, and you go, okay, why the fuck do I think this sucks? If you're asking why after you do it, then you're a fucking fool. Not to be blunt, or blatant, or harsh, but if you're asking that question after you do these things, obviously, you do not understand. You do not understand, and you need to understand. And that's why I'm making this video. Because some people need to have their eyes opened up. I used to be one of those kids who wanted to find out everything about the Raimi movies. The Raimi Spider-Man movies. I was all over that shit. And then, a couple years ago, I realized that, partially thanks to the incredible people at Pretty Much It, Eric Striffler, Jake Baldino, and Mike Peterson, that not knowing everything is a good thing. Why do it to yourself? Maybe it's a better thing to just watch one trailer, to see one picture, to see one of something, a little preview, and then hold yourself back. I don't know. It bugs the shit out of me. But that's me. How about you guys? Turn the tables to you. What do you think of this subject? What do you think of this argument? Are you on my side or the other side? Do you think it's a good idea to read spoilers? A bad idea to read spoilers? Do you understand why both sides have their sides? Let me know in the comments down below. I want to know what you think. Also, if you want to comment about it, what do you think about the Anaconda video by Nicki Minaj? Because, damn! I swear to God, Drake came in not knowing what he was doing that day, and he was like, so, what's going on, Nicki? Are we shooting a video or something? And she's like, sitting down in that chair right there. I'm going to give you a lap dance. And then he was like, okay. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and then subscribe to my channel so you'll never miss a video from me ever again. Also, check out my Facebook, my Twitter, and We Live Film accounts down in the info box. I'm John Maffio, aka MaffmanJones, and I'll see you guys next time. Damn! My anaconda don't want none unless you got buns, hun.